Oi! Konnichiwa!
That is where cabin number 2 is. Or was, should I say.
I don't know where old mate's gone, but someone's hanged themselves.
Once again, I have no clue who these people are.
A solo hiker camped near the Hermitage ruins along Ontario's Bruce Trail, arriving before dark and setting her tent beside a stone wall to block the wind.
Okay, I'm just in my tent now. When I was setting up, a couple of times I saw lights in the woods, and one time it looked like it was coming right at me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got busted. I don't know if it's hikers or if it is the park authorities doing rounds. Either way, they didn't come here to the ruins. They just walked through the path. But you know how it is at night. The light just really goes far. It is definitely getting cold. There is a chill in the air, not just temperature, if you know what I mean.
While setting up, she noticed lights moving through the trees, one appearing to head straight toward her before turning away, leaving her unsure if it was hikers or park staff on patrol. As night fell, the wind strengthened and the cold deepened, creating an uneasy atmosphere. From inside the tent, she heard noises outside that first sounded like leaves or rain, but continued close by, keeping her alert.
I don't know if those are leaves falling or if it's starting to rain. It is definitely a little bit creepy. Like, I'm not scared, but I'm definitely alert. It is 10 p.m. I think it's about time I try to get some sleep. Keep hearing noises outside of the tent. It's pretty close to Halloween, and this is a pretty famous haunted ruin, so I think a lot of people will come here at night to see if they get to see the ghost of William Black.
With Halloween approaching and the ruins known for stories tied to William Black, the setting felt even more unsettling. Eventually, the sounds shifted into what clearly resembled footsteps beside the tent.
What the was that?
At sunrise, she packed up quickly and left, never discovering what caused the movement in the darkness. Driven by curiosity, he approached a small cave opening and stepped inside, unaware of what the place truly was. Moments later, the situation turned unsettling. When it became clear he had wandered into a bear's territory. Staying calm proved critical, as his composure prevented the animal from reacting aggressively. Although he escaped unharmed, the encounter highlighted how dangerous these situations can be, and why caution is essential in unfamiliar terrain. In the end, he left safely, likely carrying a hard-earned lesson about respecting wildlife and hidden risks in the wild. On February 26, 2024, a video uploaded by Welcome to the Woods UK showed the aftermath of a project meant to bring peace rather than fear. The creator had been building a small cabin deep in the forest, a quiet shelter made from pallets and boards, but when he returned one night, he found it destroyed, torn apart, overturned, and oddly facing back toward the trees. The damage felt deliberate, and the woods no longer felt welcoming.
What the hell has happened here? Oh my god. Don't know what is going on here. This woodland just gets stranger and stranger. But the gutting thing is I was hoping to show you lot that cabin built from start to finish. It was just going to be a little cabin. Might as well show you it now. It's wrecked.
Earlier visits had already raised concerns, with unexplained nighttime sounds and trail cameras capturing a shadowy figure emerging silently from the forest. The movement appeared unnatural at first.
I found something a bit more shocking, and I was very, very tired. So I've checked him again in the van again today, and it's exactly as what I see yesterday. So it weren't sleep deprivation. There's a figure at night time that's in the right hand side of I believe it's camera 6. Starts off, comes out of the woodland, and then all of a sudden it seems to trigger the camera again and then come back out. That again happened about a week later on camera 4. But this time it's daytime and it's a bit more explainable. I mean, it looks to me like someone's in there poaching for the deer perhaps, or doing a bit of wildlife photography, but whoever it is shouldn't be there. They haven't got permission to be there. It's only me. I've phoned the landowner Chris. He swears blind that no one else should be in there. It's quite secure as well. I've never seen anyone in the 2 years that I know in there, even on any of the trail cams. Now, trail cam 1 didn't do very well. It's definitely, again, if it's not the same person, it is a person. They're dressed up in some sort of camouflage or poncho. I mean, it looks like they've got a big beard. I think it's a man, to be honest with you.
Though later footage in daylight suggested it could have been a person trespassing, possibly poaching or photographing wildlife, despite the landowner confirming no one else had permission to be there.
It's got darker a lot quicker than what I thought it would, and it's drawn in pitch black, inky black.
When he returned again after dark, rain falling and visibility near zero, he heard sharp sounds like wood splitting nearby, as if someone were chopping with an axe.
That is where cabin number 2 is, or was, should I say. You should all remember, it should be put together by now. I was proper agitated that someone's done this to that. I don't know if you can hear it. I didn't see anything, but I could hear like wood splitting, like as in like someone chopping wood, like with an axe or something. I'm not entirely sure what that would have been. That was it.
Shaken, he set up alarms and cameras around his camp.
There's us. So this is the little gadget I'm going to be using tonight to let me know if there's anyone about after dark. It's basically a gate alarm that farmers use. It's a 1-inch cartridge, 12 bore, non-lethal. There's no way it can hurt anyone unless you actually put your face to it, which in that case there's a little plate that covers it over. I'm going to strap that to a tree and then run a trip line all the way around the immediate vicinity of my camp at about waist height. That pin gets pulled from there because of the trip line being activated. This will let a charge off and it will hopefully either scare away whatever it is that's creeping about, and it will wake me up.
But throughout the night, footsteps and loud bangs echoed from the surrounding woods, never close enough to see, yet close enough to feel watched.
I've not got a clue what that noise was. There's about 8 different noises, sounded like someone was walking around about 40 yards away. I had no bang off of the alarm, but definitely a banging in the wood. Don't know what the audio is going to come up like on there.
By morning, the forest that once represented adventure had become a place of unease, leaving him with the realization that even experienced campers can feel powerless when confronted with something unknown moving just beyond the tree line. The Junkyard Fox is a channel focused on crafting, survival skills, and outdoor living, usually featuring calm camping trips and handmade shelters, but one video took an unsettling turn.
Out here in beautiful West Texas, my usual stomping grounds, because I'm going to be spending the night in my primitive shelter. Okay, folks, so here is my camp. As you can tell, there's been a lot of winds. That's something a lot of people don't realize, but out in the open desert, I mean, we get some 30-mile-an-hour winds sometimes, and of course, you know, the shelter is going to need to constantly be updated and, you know, renovated, right? Like any home. And yeah, luckily, at first when I got here, I was sweating buckets, but look, check it out. It's starting to get nice and gloomy, so we may see a little bit of rain later. That'd be nice. But yeah, so as you can tell, the winds have come. They've knocked this side off, so I need to work on that. You guys remember I had a Motley Crue poster that I put here when I stayed here last time, and I can see it over there. And I can actually see a lizard. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right behind the Motley Crue poster, there's like a little lizard just hanging out. That's really cool.
While camping alone in his familiar West Texas desert surroundings, he documented strong winds damaging parts of his primitive shelter as he made repairs and prepared for the night. The conditions seemed manageable, with mild temperatures and light weather expected, and he settled in to sleep. A few hours later, everything changed when loud music and a truck nearby woke him. Moments after, he discovered his truck's windows had been shot by unknown people who had driven through the area. Shaken and confused, he realized the situation was no longer safe and decided to end the trip immediately.
So it's time to call it a night. Like I said, today, I'm not really hanging out in terms of, having some beers around the fire or nothing like that. It's more of a test of, being out here and stuff. And I foresee today being nicer anyway, an easier night, because forecast looks like the night's going to drop to the, early 60s, late 50s at most. So it's really nothing too bad. In case of anything, I do have my jacket here, and then I do also have my shamog down here, and I apologize for the crappy lighting. So in case of anything, I could just wrap that around my face or whatever. And that's about it. So in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll make some coffee. And that's about it for me. So have a good night, everyone. Okay, folks, so change of plans. I was asleep for 2 hours. Then I woke up to a truck driving nearby, and they shot my truck. They legitimately shot the windows on my truck. People I don't know. This is crazy. Look, these are my windows. This is insane. Once again, I have no clue who these people are. Just drunks. I could hear the loud music. That's what woke me up. And sure enough, so I'm guessing this trip is over. Oh man, what a mess.
Although he was not physically harmed, the incident revealed how unpredictable and dangerous solo camping can become, especially in remote areas, raising questions about whether isolation truly brings peace or simply leaves you more exposed to human threats you never see coming. In September 2023, a wildlife biologist shared a startling moment on his YouTube channel after an unexpected incident during a remote swamp expedition.
All right, so honest gear review time. I'm out here in a place like this in a remote swamp where the thunder's cracking off and there's alligators cruising around. There's a couple things that I absolutely cannot live without. One of those is a GPS. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, you should always have a GPS. Carry a big, bulky handheld one. I got hit. I felt it, yeah. I got hit. That hurt. Yeah, it just hurt. Shit, really? Yeah.
While filming a gear review in stormy conditions, surrounded by thunder and nearby alligators, a lightning strike hit the water close enough to send a powerful shock through his body. The impact briefly left his legs numb, forcing him to stop and recover before moving to a safer area. Although shaken by how close the strike had come, he was fortunate it didn't hit him directly, serving as a sharp reminder of how quickly routine outdoor adventures can turn dangerous when nature becomes unpredictable. On September 23, 2025, the creator behind the Dog Daddy YouTube channel experienced a disturbing encounter during what began as a normal day on his property.
Sorry, what'd you just say?
I heard you had these beautiful black German Shepherds here, so I came down to say hi.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Is it okay if I come in? Just for a quick second.
Oh, no, we don't really allow visitors in.
I came a long way just to...
How do we even know they were here?
Somebody told me. This is where you...
How did you get here?
I walked from all the way down the road. Someone dropped me off.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Okay. We don't really allow visitors. We just moved in and, these dogs, they're out here with me now. They're friendly, but we have some rescue dogs and even protection dogs behind the other gate over there. So, we don't really have a open door policy.
Really great with dogs. Is it okay if I meet them? You'll see, I'll show you.
No, if these guys, they're out, if they want to come say hi at the gate, it's okay, but we don't really have any visitors on the property.
I mean, this is like the only...
No, don't open the gate. Like I said, the dogs in the back, they are not as friendly as the ones that are out here, so please don't open the gate.
I'll show you. It's just going to be a quick second.
No, not today. Maybe another time, but we're not allowing visitors. And I don't even know how he got here.
I told you I came down the road. Listen.
Can you just let go of the gate?
I thought you were nice. I just wanted to say hi to your dog.
No, we are nice. We just don't allow visitors on the property.
A woman unexpectedly appeared, claiming she had heard about his dogs and wanted to see them, insisting she had walked a long distance just to visit. Despite being told clearly and repeatedly that visitors were not allowed, especially due to the presence of rescue and protection dogs, she continued to linger, growing agitated before eventually leaving. What seemed like an awkward but harmless interaction took a darker turn later that night, when the same woman returned after midnight, once again entering the property and claiming she was there to bless him and his dogs.
Listen, you need to leave now. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna let them out. It's midnight. What are you doing here? Leave now. It's midnight. We're not playing any more games. You are agitating my dogs. I told you late at night my guard dogs are out, and they're out. I'm not gonna be babysitting. You broke into the property at 3 in the morning. They're gonna come out.
I just came to bless you and your dog.
You need to leave now. You need to leave now. I'm letting them out. Don't come any closer. I'm gonna let them out. I'm gonna let them out.
Don't do that.
They're here and they're waiting.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna leave. The police has been looking for 4 days now. There's no one around. This is my place. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know where you're coming from.
I just came to bless you.
I'm letting my dogs out.
Don't do that.
She disappeared. What the hell?
Her presence at such an hour, combined with her refusal to leave despite warnings about guard dogs and safety, escalated the situation enough that police were eventually called and intervened. Although no one was hurt, the repeated visits raised serious concerns, leaving one direct question. When a stranger ignores boundaries and keeps coming back, where does coincidence end and real danger begin? Johnny, the creator of the YouTube channel Johnny Paranormal, explores Japan's Aokigahara Forest, often called the Sea of Trees, a location infamous for its tragic history. While filming deep inside the forest, where abandoned personal belongings are sometimes found, he noticed movement and went to investigate.
G'day mate, how are ya? Konnichiwa. Buddy! Buddy! Oi! Konnichiwa! Where are you going? How's he still running? He's up in there. Oi! I'm gonna come after you. You might as well stop running, mate. Oh, there you go. That's him. He just took off. Running.
He soon encountered a man who immediately ran off without looking back, disappearing into the trees as if he saw Johnny as a threat. Believing that the real danger in remote wilderness often comes from people rather than wildlife, Johnny followed the direction the man fled.
You're not going to believe this. I've just found another hanging. Are you kidding me? Well, look at the good thing, it's another body I can get home. Right through these trees, right in front of me, 50 metres. I don't know where old mate's gone, but someone's hanged themselves. 50 metres in front of me.
Instead, he discovered a hanging body nearby, reinforcing the forest's dark reputation. The man's sudden escape raises questions about why he was there and what he may have been doing, and whether his presence was a coincidence or connected to what Johnny found, leaving viewers to wonder how many hidden stories are unfolding in Aokigahara at the same time, unseen and unresolved. Meet Paul from the channel. Paul and a Pack, an avid hiker who documented his 149-day journey along the Pacific Crest Trail. Early into the trek, while walking beside a volcanic rock formation, he noticed what first looked like trash, or possibly a sleeping bag, lying off the trail. Curious and concerned, he stepped closer to check if someone needed help.
So I've just come from this direction, walking down this trail here, and to the side of me is this big volcanic feature. I'm going to guess it's either a sill or a dike. I can't remember the difference between them. But just through here on some of the rocks, there seems to be a big pile of, it kind of looks like trash, but it also looks like it could be a sleeping bag, and I can't see anyone there. It's just a little bit strange, so I'm just going to have a wander in and make sure that there's nothing nasty going on. Hello? Oh my goodness me. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not sure if I've just found a body or not.
What he discovered instead were human remains scattered near a tent, along with a backpack, trekking poles, and other gear typical of a long-distance hiker. As he prepared to leave the area to report it, he noticed a skull nearby, confirming the situation. Other hikers soon arrived and assisted him in contacting authorities, who responded shortly after.
Well, that was something I didn't expect at all. I've heard of it happening a couple of times on the trail this year so far, but I didn't think it would happen to me. I've just found somebody's remains at the side of the trail. And when I say the side of the trail, kind of like off that side of the trail, maybe 50 feet or so. I thought it was a pile of trash to start with, and I thought I would just go and investigate. When I got closer to it, it became obvious that it was the remains of a hiker. There was a backpack there, a sun umbrella, some trekking poles, and then I spotted the leg bones completely stripped. The tent was there, you know, all the sort of stuff you would associate with a through hiker or a long section hiker. And then when I turned around to leave the scene to get back to the trail to figure out what to do, that's when I spotted the skull. And that just obviously confirmed everything. There was a couple behind me, Adam and Jennifer, thank goodness. They helped me out, and Adam called 911. He had a little bit of service, and there's some deputies coming out to meet us.
The discovery was deeply unsettling, not only because of its severity, but because the remains were found relatively close to the main trail, and appeared to have been there for some time, unnoticed. Paul chose not to film the scene out of respect, hoping the find would help bring answers to a waiting family, leaving one haunting question behind. How could someone disappear so close to a well-traveled trail without anyone noticing for so long? On October 25th, 2022, Kevin from the YouTube channel Small Plots and a friend set up camp for one night in a quiet section of a state forest in upstate New York. The evening started peacefully with dinner by the fire, but once darkness settled in, the forest felt different.
What was that?
It was very strange.
I know we've been joking around, but what was that?
While sitting at the campsite, they heard a strange sound echo through the trees, returning more than once and shifting from something that sounded human to a high-pitched hooting, unlike any animal they recognized.
That had to have been a person, right?
It sounded like a person at first, but then the hooting of it sounded like a crazy bird. I don't know.
I've never heard that in the woods. It was like...
But really high-pitched.
Yeah, it sounded like a monkey.
Yeah.
It sounded like a monkey or something.
I thought it was like a woman hooting, and then a hoo, hoo, hoo. Like a...
Should we respond? What was that?
Totally ruined my pizza log.
I've never heard that in the woods. Ever. That sounded like a monkey. And it wasn't far. That was close. That was a close by thing. What was that? I just want to keep rolling in case it happens again. That was chilling. I don't know what that was. It sounded like a person. I've never heard an animal around here make that sound. That had to have been a person.
Despite their experience with wildlife, neither could identify it, and the noise felt uncomfortably close.
I have a chill down my spine. I don't know what is happening.
I keep hearing things.
Yeah.
Not that same thing, but creepy.
Like things around us. Anytime we like kind of lose focus on what's around us and get into a conversation, we start hearing things like walking towards us again.
While checking the area, Kevin noticed bits of trash near the camp, suggesting someone had been there recently, or might still be nearby.
And now I just hear things like stick cracking around us. Now I'm just freaking out. Now I'm just nervous. Luna, are you nervous? She doesn't seem too nervous. She seems okay, which is, I guess, a good sign. Or not, because she didn't see the hunter standing next to us earlier. Yeah, we had like half of a conversation with that hunter before she realized he was there and then started freaking out. So you're not exactly a litmus test on what's going on around us, I guess.
Subtle sounds continued through the night, including stick breaks and movement whenever their focus drifted, keeping them tense until morning. Nothing ever revealed itself, but the memory of that sound stayed with them, leaving one direct question unanswered. Was it an unknown animal, another person in the woods, or someone watching them from the darkness? The creator behind Pandemonium travels across the U.S. living out of her RV with her dog, Moo, often choosing quiet campsites that feel safe for the night. On one stop, that sense of calm shattered after midnight, when loud, aggressive screaming echoed through the campground.
So not sure if you all can hear, but I'm not sure if he's drunk or he's just mentally unwell. But there's a guy just walking through base camp cussing. I mean, like, severely cussing. You probably can hear him. He's also kind of not making any sense. It's kind of freaky, weird, and creepy. Yeah, did you hear that crazy guy screaming?
Do you have your camera?
Huh?
Do you have your camera?
I do.
You're so funny.
I caught him earlier. He was just, I mean, he started, well, I didn't really I got him screaming because he started on that end over where the guys were.
Right.
And then he made his way over here and he was like, he sat down and he was screaming, cussing. And then I was like, I don't know if he's.
Right at the bottom.
What?
He's where?
For my van.
Oh, he is?
Towards the river.
Oh.
Right next to your van or before those roads were? Yeah. Okay.
A person was heard moving between campsites, shouting profanities and speaking incoherently, leaving everyone unsure whether they were dealing with intoxication, mental distress, or a potential threat. Other campers were awake and watching, tracking the sounds as they moved closer to vehicles, until police were finally called to sort out the confusion.
First of all, thank you for calling us. We appreciate it. She's gonna be leaving there shortly. She's gonna be returning to her campsite for the evening.
Oh, that's a woman?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I have no idea it was a woman.
No, well, there was a male subject that was down there with her. Yeah, I guess he left. He's driving a white Jeep. He went into town. So we're going to see if we can't find him.
That's not true.
No.
That's not true. She's been here by herself the whole time.
Okay.
Screaming at somebody that wasn't there.
Right. She has a history of drug use.
Lord.
She is a local from the area, but she does state that they are camping down the river a little ways. She plans on returning to that campsite here shortly. I let her know that if there's any more outbursts, any more screaming noises, whatever like that, we'll come back out and then she'll be transported and be living with us. So. As it sits right now, we're going to go try to find him, make sure he's okay.
Although no one was hurt and the situation eventually de-escalated, the fear lingered once the campground fell silent again, raising a direct question. When you're alone in the dark with nowhere to go, how quickly can a safe campsite turn into a trap? The Cat Lady van was camping in a quiet area on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, after a long day of stormy weather. Sometime around midnight, she woke to loud banging on the outside of her van, unsure whether it was done by hand or with an object.
Alright guys, that's someone banging on my van pretty loud. I'm not sure if he did any damage to be caught on it. I don't know if he banged with a piece of wood. He banged on another another van too. I'm gonna move.
It quickly became clear she wasn't the only one targeted, as another van nearby had also been struck. By morning, she found a large dent on the side of her vehicle, confirming the force of the impact.
Beautiful damage on my van. I knew when he banged on my van, it would sound pretty loud. I thought I was in the back, that's why I was looking in the back there. And I didn't know if he had a stick, that's what I saw on my video. But I think he probably had a rock and when he banged on my van, because yeah, this looked like quite a big dent. Unfortunately, I'm kind of pissed, to be honest, guys.
Shaken by the damage and the uncertainty of who was responsible, she chose to move to a safer location, relieved that both she and her cat were unharmed. After 7 years of traveling this way, it was the first time she truly felt threatened, leaving one unsettling question: who was targeting vans in the darkness, and why that campsite? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.